Let's say China.
China.
China. China. China.
China.
China. China. China. China. You go over to China. 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 You take China.
China.
China. I love them. China. 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 I have to have my China. China. China because China.
So GM, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're taking a look at the Conflux ecosystem. This has been dubbed the Chinese Matic, and it could be a real runner in the bull cycle. As you can see already from the chart on screen there, even in a bear market, it's done over a 10x already, which is rather impressive. And obviously going into next year with the halving and potentially a nice bull run ahead of us, these are the kind of coins that are catching a lot of interest right now. So going to run through this fairly quickly as there is quite a lot to cover. So make sure you stay sharp, stay tuned, and subscribe to the channel. So many people just know about the CFX Conflux token, but there is a full ecosystem behind this. This is an EVM compatible blockchain that is made in China. So quite a few narratives tying into this one. If you go to this website here, conflux-faucets.com, you can get started with a little bit of CFX, as that is the gas of this network. So I'll leave a link to this faucet down below. All you have to do is connect your MetaMask to it, and it sends you 0.02 CFX, and that'll be enough for quite a few transactions on here. The cost is very low. You can also see on screen there is a secondary wallet called Fluent for this network, but I'm just sticking with MetaMask for now. Let's continue on. DeFi Llama has actually set up its own page as a chain on here. Total TVL just $24 million and 5 protocols on here. Swappi Dex, Nucleon, Goledo, MoonSwap, another Dex, and Flux protocol. Goledo and Flux both borrow lend, and then Nucleon is an LSD. And we're going to run through all of these in just a moment. So this is the ecosystem page. You can see already there's a lot of protocols already tapping into Conflux. This is obviously a good sign. You want to see many of the DeFi primitives come over here at some point. And that's really something that's on my radar. I'm looking for one of the big boys, an Aave, a Synthetics, a Curve, a Uniswap deployment, something like that to happen maybe sometime in the next 12 months. And then, the party really is getting started over here. But at the moment in time, there's, a small handful of notable projects on here, the likes of Injective and a few others, Dodo, Sushi, etc. But I don't think they've actually fully deployed yet, or at least there's no real liquidity on here. So this is kind of just naming a load of projects, but they are slowly padding things out. But the ones we've just shown on DeFi Llama are the main ones on here. Now, an account to follow is this guy here, observer.cfx. So this account posts a daily update of the network. So in terms of just staying up to date with this network generally, go and give this guy a follow if you're interested in Conflux. I've already put together a little bit of a portfolio page on my CoinGecko here, but not all of the tokens are actually on CoinGecko as yet. But the major ones are Conflux, Nucleon, Goledo, and Swappi. As you can see, the market caps for most of these are missing. We'll jump into Swappi just again. So this is essentially a Uniswap or a Pancake swap clone. Exchange, add liquidity, do farming, do staking, do lottery, and a Launchpad all on here. You can swap between major currency pairs. So major pairs like Conflux, we got Wrap Bitcoin, ETH, some stables. You can see multi-chain is on there as well, as this is a trusted bridge into the Conflux eSpace mainnet. And we got some of our altcoins on here as well. So pretty standard stuff, just knowing how to swap between these various ecosystem coins. You want to come to Swappi to do it. It has the best liquidity. You can add liquidity if you wish. You can do some farming. So this gives me the kind of Pancake swap vibes from back in 2020, 2021. And the more of these avocados, these PPI tokens that you stake, that is the native token, the bigger the kind of boost factor you get. And so obviously the higher your reward. So if you are farming, you'll want to stake some of these tokens. They're only around 2 cents at this moment in time, rather cheap. And then you can get a booster to your yield. You can see the staking tab is over there. I have staked mine for 6 months, which is the maximum. The longer you stake for as well, when there are launch pads, the bigger allocation you'll get to the launch pads as well. So they've had these two previously, that is Nucleon and Goledo. We're waiting for the next one, and when it does come, I'm looking forward to trying to utilize my launch pad score to get an allocation into the next Conflux ecosystem play. So that is one of the reasons why I did stake for that 6-month period to get the maximum booster on here. And I'm hoping we get some nice launches. Everything on here is going to be pretty standard stuff for anyone who's spent any time in crypto. We will move on to the next one, which will be Goledo. So this one is effectively just a clone of Aave, but on the Conflux network. The total supply right now, or the circulating supply right now, is 52 million tokens. So this gives it a market cap of just under $3 million. There's a lot of inflation with this one at this moment in time. Max supply will be 100 million tokens according to the white paper, putting in an FDV of $5.6 million. This is the website here, dashboard, typical borrow lend kind of interface, nothing too jazzy about it. And this is where you would obviously supply your assets, put down your collateral, and then take out another asset of your choice. And as we can see from the borrow hand side of it here, you got Conflux, USDT, ETH, wrapped Bitcoin, X, CFX. So that is the wrapped version of this, which is done by Nucleon. The project we'll go into in a sec, and USDC. Pretty standard stuff. In terms of TVL on here, 4.75 mil of TVL, which is quite interesting, made up of $1.3 million of Conflux, about 1.1 million of USDT, half a mil of ETH, almost 400k of wrapped Bitcoin, which was quite surprising for me, about $1 million of X CFX, and about 400k of USDC on there as well. And then you have the staking page where you can get some of those highly inflationary rewards from this token. The ticker is GOL. You can either do option 1, which is just to stake APR 536%. You can unstake those coins at any moment in time, or you can lock them at 19,000% APR, which is what I've done with a small bag there. And this one is just distributing coins to you on a very quick basis here. So obviously very inflationary, but generally this token has been trending up, which has been quite nice. Obviously you get high inflationary rewards. Maybe you want to swap them into a stable coin or something else, maybe some CFX. But that is the chart for GOL, Goledo, right about there, that Aave clone. Now the next one is not on CoinGecko, it's on CoinMarketCap, and it is the kind of meme token of this network called Neko or Maneki, and this one has a market cap of just $500,000. As you can see, generally overall over time it is trending up. We did have a bit of a dump fest here down to 1 cent, but this is a micro cap. These kind of things will happen with whales moving in and out. Not 100% sure how this all works. I've read through some of the documentation. Seems to be an NFT project that once you stake it, it gives you the Neko token, making it an inflationary token. There is a Maneki-nomics page there, but I couldn't really digest too much of it. I just bought a small amount of tokens just to get in with the culture here. Kind of a lottery ticket. I see this either doing very well or going to zero, so I'm happy with either. And then this is the actual NFT page here. So as you can see, very much Chinese style art with the kind of waving cats that you would have seen if you go on holiday anywhere that has a Chinatown. And the biggest sale of these NFTs thus far has been a 2,000 Conflux bid, which is somewhere around like $800 USD. So this one is a little bit off the radar here. The fact it's not on CoinGecko, also the fact it's rather strange. And if you go into the Discord, it's all Chinese chatter. Then the next one I wanted to show you is at the bottom of here, Flux Protocol. So this one is the only one on DeFi Llama that is a multi-chain one. So it's on OKX, BSC, ETH, Conflux, Arbitrum, and Polygon. So it's not just a native market here. And as you can see, once you go to Conflux on the Flux page, there's hardly any market size, just $25. So yes, they have added this chain, but there's nothing going on here. So nothing of real interest for me at this moment in time, unless liquidity is added. So this is the competitor to Goledo. But if there's no market here, there's no TVL, Goledo's obviously going to win out. So in terms of Conflux, that is obviously the main bag here on this network, owning the gas token. The network token makes a lot of sense. But then typically what I want to do is add to my portfolio the major DEX and a borrow lend protocol. So as we've covered, Swappi and Goledo, so smaller bags of both of those. Now moving on here, there is also a Conflux fans coin called FC. Very strange indeed. I have no idea what the actual purpose of this is, apart from showing your appreciation to the Conflux network. It is a strange one. But where can you trade this on? It is not on Swappi Dex, it's only on MoonSwap. So MoonSwap is the second highest TVL exchange on here. As you can see at the bottom here, just $1.8 million in TVL. You can't see it behind my head. But this one is just a DEX, again, a clone of the likes of Uniswap, nothing too special about it. There is one drawback, however. Connect to wallet, no MetaMask. Searched on the forums, no MetaMask, why is that? Not really too sure. Someone on here suggested maybe they've got a special partnership with Fluent Wallet to not allow MetaMask, but that is just going to stop anyone in the West really getting involved with this. I'm not going to download Fluent Wallet just to trade this shitcoin here. So this one is a little bit of a dud in my opinion. Now, next up we have Nucleon. Now this one is the liquid staking derivatives, an LSD for Conflux. This one is trading at 48 bucks. The max supply is just 300,000 tokens. Roughly a third of them are currently circulating. Let's just go to max on here. That is the chart of it. Most of these charts do mimic the Conflux token, but with some additional volatility in them. And Conflux is pretty damn volatile itself, but some of these get massive swings to the upside and then drawdowns when Conflux retraces. So this is Nucleon unlocking liquidity for staked assets. So yep, an LSD. Over here you can see various bits on their page, how much has been staked so far. They take a 10% fee on staking. So obviously this is a proof of stake blockchain. It actually runs dual proof of stake and proof of work. The proof of stake rewards around 14% on mainnet, but what these guys do is actually compound all rewards. So this should be the highest APY you can get on Conflux being staked. So if I was going to stake my Conflux, I would do it, wrap it into CFX, and then this token accrues more value over time. This is the actual dApp once logged in. You can see I could stake the 77 CFX on my wallet right now. If I stake that, it will leave me with one Conflux for gas, I presume. I will then receive 74.6 CFX. The exchange rate is 1.018. They take a 10% service fee as mentioned, and then these rewards will all auto compound over time. 16.46% is the APY on here. Only 695 participants so far. This network is very young, to be honest with you. Hence we see low amounts of TVL. But the activity, I would say, on mainnet is quite a lot compared to what's going on with these ecosystem tokens. I'm not sure if the ecosystem tokens have been widely discovered. Judging by some of the prices for them, I guess not. So 6.7 mil of XCFX market cap on there. So if you're into LSDs, maybe this will be a play you would be interested in. It is called Nucleon there. You can see the tokenomics over here, 300,000 in total, 10% went to the team, 10% for marketing, both distributing over 4 years. 20% to the DAO treasury and 60% to LP providers. So if you provide an LP on here, which will be Nucleon to CFX or CFX to XCFX, either of those pools, you'll get distributed a reward in the NUT token there. Wrapping things up very shortly here, but NFTs in China on Conflux. Ticketing. This was the Medium article they posted recently. You may have heard of Jay Chu, K-pop or Chinese pop music artist, and this guy has launched a few NFT collections, and a recent one is actually on the Conflux network. Now I was looking for a marketplace, but it seems it's just directly on Conflux Scan, which is like Etherscan, where you can actually go ahead and start buying them and transferring them directly on here. Again, most things are in Chinese, but if you do translate it, it just says this is Jay Chu's official ticket for his metaverse. There are 3 different types of rarities for these. So very interesting to see like a K-pop star releasing his NFT collection onto this network, and they have other forms of ticketing on here as well. So if in general there were to be a Chinese chain like this that does really encapture a large amount of ticket sales onto it, well, I think you could be onto a large winner. So this is another factor that makes me quite bullish on this chain overall. Again, on Conflux Scan, if you go to tokens, you can see all the various tokens on this network. You can see the types of protocols that have got a wrapped version on here: Chainlink, Comp, YFI, DAI, Keeper, a load of things, Bitcoin, etc. So they do have early signings of a blossoming eco. And just to finish off here, if you go onto another page on the homepage, you can see proof of work and proof of stake. It does run dual mining. So if you do want to chuck some hash power on here, if you are a miner, you could do that. But if you do want to stake proof of stake style, 14.2%. But as I mentioned on Nucleon, the LSD, stake it on there, you'll get a higher return. And when you have the liquid XCFX to play around with at your leisure. So we'll leave up here. This is a very interesting ecosystem to me. It has the Chinese coin narrative. It has a lot of developments going on. They had that partnership with Little Red Book, which is essentially the Instagram over in China. And as you can see from this, currently putting in higher lows on the TVL stats on the network overall. So looking forward to seeing how this develops. I have a stake across the network in a few ecosystem plays and of course the CFX token as well. And we'll see if this is yet another contender in the next full-blown bull market with China narrative bid. Fingers crossed for that. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below what you like about this network. See you in the next one, guys. Peace.